What's the bedtime story your parents told you? And now you realize it was messed up. My mom used to tell me this bedtime story about a bird who couldn't fly. Every single night from when I was like 4 until maybe 10. Always the same bird. Always trying to reach the clouds, but his wings were too heavy with love. Last month, I finally understood what she was actually telling me. So, growing up, it was just me and mom and my stepdad, Troy. He came into the picture when I was 2, so he's basically all I remember as a dad. Good guy. Coached my soccer team. Taught me to drive stick shift. Normal dad stuff. But mom had this one bedtime story she'd tell only when he was working late or out of town. The bird's name was Vincent. Weird name for a bird, right? But I never questioned it as a kid. Vincent lived in this garden where all the other birds could fly wherever they wanted. But Vincent's wings were different. Mom would say his feathers were made of promises that weighed more than air, and he could only hop from branch to branch, watching everyone else soar. She described how Vincent would collect shiny things, bottle caps, pieces of foil, broken jewelry, and leave them at the base of this one specific oak tree, the tree where a little sparrow lived. The sparrow was young and didn't understand why Vincent couldn't just fly up to see her, why he had to stay on the ground calling up to her. God, I can still hear her voice getting soft when she described how Vincent would sing to the sparrow every morning, how the sparrow would chirp back, but they could never quite reach each other. Mom would say the sparrow didn't know that Vincent's wings were heavy because he made a promise to stay grounded, to never fly into the sparrow's tree because some love is too dangerous for the sky. As a kid, I thought it was just sad. I'd ask why Vincent didn't just try harder, do wing exercises or something. Mom would get this look and say, sometimes being grounded is how we protect the ones we love. That Vincent knew if he flew, he might bring storms with him. I probably heard this story 500 times. No joke. With tiny variations, but always the same core. Vincent, the grounded bird, the sparrow in the oak tree, the shiny offerings, the morning songs, the weight of promises. Flash forward to 3 months ago. Mom's 50th birthday party. Few drinks in, my Aunt Debbie starts getting sentimental, talking about how proud she is of Mom for doing it all alone, and how he never deserved to know her anyway. Meaning me. Troy's standing right there. And Debbie realizes her up immediately. Tries to backtrack, but I'm not stupid. Spent the whole party pretending I didn't hear it, but my brain was screaming. That night, I couldn't sleep. Kept thinking about Debbie's words. He never deserved to know her, but Troy's known me my whole life and less. Next morning, I corner Mom in the kitchen. Real casual, like, hey, remember that bird story you used to tell Vincent? And she freezes like full body freezes, holding her coffee mug halfway to her lips. Tries to play it off like, oh honey, that was so long ago. Why are you thinking about that? But I push. Ask her why she only told it when Troy wasn't home. Why Vincent was such a weird name for a bird. Why the sparrow lived in oak trees specifically. She starts crying. Sits down at the kitchen table and tells me Vincent was my biological father. She met him when she was 19 working at this nursery. The garden in the story, he was 24. Came in every few days buying plants he definitely didn't need. Shy guy, but funny once you got him talking. They dated for about a year. Here's where it gets up. Vincent was married. Mom didn't know for the first 6 months. He wore no ring. Never mentioned a wife. Always available whenever Mom was free. When she found out, she tried to break it off, but Vincent swore he was leaving. His wife just needed time. His wife was fragile. And he couldn't just abandon her mom. Believed him because she was 19 and in love and stupid. Her words. Got pregnant with me. Told Vincent thinking surely now he'd leave. Instead, he completely panicked. Said his wife had just miscarried. Was suicidal. He couldn't leave now, but he'd figure something out. The shiny things in the story. He'd leave money in an envelope under this oak tree in the park near Mom's apartment. Child support basically, but he couldn't risk direct contact. The morning songs, he'd call from payphones sometimes just to hear if I was crying in the background. Never spoke. Mom would just hold the phone up and let him listen. The promises that weighed more than air. He promised his wife he'd never leave. Promised Mom he'd always provide for me. Promised himself he'd never disrupt my life by trying to be my father. Wings too heavy to fly. I asked if she knew where he was now. She doesn't. Asked if Troy knew about the story and she said, no, it was just between us. Our secret that wasn't even a secret because I didn't know it was a